Hello, I'm just going through some stock, so I thought I would do it with you. So, we talked about a few days ago dead stock and what that was one of the tips, what to do with it. And it might be, maybe dead stock is the wrong word to use. It's stock that some of it is not stock that you like, but it might be stock that you've bought and there's nothing wrong with it, but you have just had it for a little while, whatever you deem that to be time wise. You may have already reduced it and you may have taken it to one centre. You may have reduced it in that centre. You may have then taken it to the other centre at the reduced price. You may have then taken it to a fair and still not sold it. And so at that point, what do? You may have tried it online. So what do you do? So maybe dead stock is the wrong word. The sort of last resort is either car boot it or just clear it out and take to the charity shop or whatever. So yeah, maybe that was the wrong word, but you know what I mean. That's the kind of stock we're talking about. Stuff, and it might be stuff that you bought that you think, why on earth did I buy that? Or that you've got in a house clearance and you think, why have I got that? Why am I even dealing with that? Because it's not my kind of stuff. It's not what people know me for, and I don't like it. I don't like it being on the stall. So here's an example. I know vintage books are in, as maybe for more props kind of thing, but it doesn't do anything for me. So what I did the other day was take out loads of stuff from one centre. Now, some of this stuff has only been in that centre. Some of the stuff has been reduced, some of it hasn't. But when you're having, especially when you're having a rearrange in your centre, you sometimes just want to clear out and start again, almost. And the other day I was in the mood for clearing out anything that I wanted, everything in there that I loved and it all matched and it all looked nice. And I didn't want anything that when you looked at it, it sort of caught your eye for the wrong reason. So I took out loads and loads of stuff. Some of this stuff, like those books, will just go in the charity box, or if I do a car boot, I don't know whether I will. I've got so much car boot stuff, but it might end up at the charity. And then other stuff, these rosettes, for example, I can't even remember where I got them from. So I had loads and had a big basket full of these. And I've been selling these at £2 each in the centre, and they've been selling well. The more decorative ones and the bigger ones and the nice looking ones have gone, and then I'm just left with a handful of ones. And if you've got a little one and they're into horses, they could have it on their little hobby horse or something. So yeah, those have sold. I've made my money out of the ones that have already gone. And these are just the extra ones. So I was thinking the pound box or the pound shelf now at my other centre is going really well. And every time I go to a centre, I just filter through a few bits and add to my pound section. And that's going okay. So I thought I'm going to price these up at £1 and see if we can get rid of the last, 6 or 7? What's there? Doesn't really matter. 7. Get rid of them. So they're going to go for £1. I've got things like that's a dog choking. I've got things like this basket. Little bike basket, so that's going to be reduced down, and then I've got things like this stair basket as well, which I've reduced down, so that's now £15. So that was where we were at. Sorry, I just paused it. I've got things like this French quimper plate, which I've had a little while. Now there's nothing wrong with that, it's perfectly lovely, but it just hasn't sold for me. And this is the kind of thing that I would then put on Vinted probably if I wasn't banned. No, I'm not banned anymore. And then the thing I've talked about before is people knowing what you do and coming to you because they can rely on what you sell, kind of thing. So they know your style, and that's the kind of thing they want. And this thing here is perfectly lovely, but I just cannot sell it. Although, to be honest, I haven't tried it to be fair to it, I haven't tried it in my other centre. I've only had it in one centre. So it's all opens up nicely. So I'm going to reduce that and then pop it into the other centre. So it keeps going. So all we're trying to do is, that isn't dead stock yet, but all we're trying to do is move the stock on until we get to a point of no return where it's just got to go. And then, so I was brutal the other day when I went into into the centre and take out loads of stuff. So the things like these Ladybird books always sell well, but I've just got to the end of them. And I think sometimes when you have a load of them, they sell well, and then as soon as you start getting down to a couple, because you haven't got that grouping together, like we talked about at fairs, grouping your stuff and people being attracted to it, I think it loses that appeal. So the same as this, another Henry Crimper plate, nice thing, but not selling it. Oops, yeah, that was almost smashed again. I thought I'd smash that. Little observer books, sort of one or two on their own, don't have the same appeal as a big load of them. I took out loads of pictures the other day that didn't quite fit in with the look, which are down there, and that's it. So that's what I've been up to. Sort of a bit more detail on the dead stock thing, and then I'll show you what, sorry, bend it down. This is what I have for my pricing. So these are all off into Vistaprint. So that's the card I have, and I need to update the pictures really to sort of more recent. And then that's what I've got on the back. So I've got my details, email address, website address on the back of there. And then I have the labels then, which are these ones here. And they're just little round labels. So I'll show you the size of them on the back of there. And then on these, I've got the my logo, but I've got the C15, which is my unit number, and the code that they need at the till, and then a pound sign, just to save a little bit of time when you're writing them, just even if it's only saving time writing a pound sign when you do it a lot. And then, oh yeah, these are the cards that I have. So they're card swing tags. So got logo on the front with my website, and then on the back got decorative antiques and vintage, find me on socials at Gorge Home, and then C15 and then the pound sign there. So I just have to write a little description there with how much it is. So that's how I label my things up in the shop as well. So I don't know if that helps you, but I'd be interested to know how you do it, if there's any easier ways. And I tend to do the labels with a nice bit of blue ribbon or red ribbon. So that's how I attach them to my products, or with some string. So that's it. So that's what I thought I would just have a quick chat with you while I did those few jobs and explain a few things on that. So I will see you tomorrow. I hope you're enjoying the other videos, and I'll see you again for another one. And at the start of August we're starting the new series of tips, and I'd really love some people to join me on that one, so we could collaborate a little bit. You could add your ideas in, maybe we could do some lives together. So I'm really looking for any dealers really, but I'd really like some newer dealers to come on and help and cover the sort of new, fresh in your mind things that you wish you'd known when you started, because say you're a year or 2 years in, you will have those things fresh in your mind of what you should have done, might have done, or would have been easier to do. And it's really interesting for me and great learning for me as well, because I think the people that are coming through now, maybe they're doing slightly different things, even if they're doing exactly the same thing as me, they'll do it in a slightly different way, and I just find that really interesting to know how they're doing it and get fresh ideas. I think it's good when we can share ideas. The sort of dealers that have been doing it a longer time can share their knowledge and sort of experience, and the newer dealers can share some fresher ideas and new stuff. So that's what I'd like it to be, and I will see you again for that. So thank you, and see you later. Bye.